Where does this road lead? We'll find out together. Buying and selling motorcycles and buying and selling cars. You probably deal with NADA and or KBB, probably KBB more. But a lot of people don't know how to use it correctly, I've noticed. And it's annoying whether you're buying or selling. When you search up your motorcycle on KBB, it's a little bit different for cars because they give you different condition values. And they give you private party and retail. For motorcycles, they only give you retail or trade-in. So mainly this is for motorcycles. But you can apply some of the concept for cars too. You have to understand KBB values aren't set in stone. You don't know how many people have come up to me since I'm selling my KTM and they're like, hey, I'll give you this much for it. I think it's a little high based on KBB value. First of all, I'm selling it, I did have it higher than the KBB listed retail value, but I lowered it because I'm trying to get rid of it faster. And I already have my new motorcycle, so before I didn't, so I kind of didn't want to sell it until I was for sure going to get a different motorcycle. But now I've got it listed for about $150 under KBB retail. And people are saying, hey, I'll give you this much because KBB says retail value is this much. Well, that's right. But like I said, KBB values are not set in stone. If you have a motorcycle, you look at the KBB retail value, you have to take a lot of things into consideration. First off the bat, you have to take 10, 15, 20% off of the KBB retail value. The 10 to 15%, that's for motorcycles like this, in great condition, low miles. And then you go higher up, the worse condition your motorcycle is in, or the more miles it has, or if you don't have like proof that it's been worked on, receipts, and if you don't have extras that come with it, like I do. After that, you look at other factors, supply and demand. I looked it up, and there is not one of these for sale at a dealership or private party in all of my state or any of the surrounding states. You cannot find them. That puts the price way up. If something is hard to come by and people want it, the price goes up. If I listed this thing on eBay for the price I have it on now, it'd be gone in an hour. But I hate eBay and PayPal fees, so I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather wait it out. Plus, that gives me an excuse to ride it more. If you're up against somebody who's ignorant to the use of KBB, and you say, hey, your vehicle is listed for the wrong price, I'll give you this much for it, they'll probably be insulted and won't deal with you anymore. If you do the same thing to somebody who's smart in KBB, they're going to try to explain it to you, and either you know this already or you're going to be one of the ignorant ones, and then you'll be mad and you won't deal with them anymore. Next thing you have to realize is your mods to your motorcycle, they do not up the value of your motorcycle. When you do mods to your motorcycle, the mods are for you to do. They're for you because you want them, and it's money out of your pocket. Before you sell your bike, put everything stock back on it. That will increase the value. More people will want it, and then you can sell your aftermarket parts and make even more money. That's the only way to do it. You can't up the price of the bike because you decided to put mods on it. Unless there are some mods that do up the price, such as things like frame sliders. But aftermarket exhausts and stuff, those are all personal preference. The next thing you have to realize doesn't have to do so much with KBB, just general buying. When someone lists a price, it's not their final price, it's just a starting point. I purposely up the price of my bikes and cars on Craigslist. Some people might be willing to pay it, but I know that most people aren't. I'm hoping for that one person who's like, yeah, sure, I'll pay that. But in reality, I know I'm going to get talked down, and I put it up. It makes the other person feel better if they can talk you down. So I always list for $200 or $300 more than I actually expect to get out of it. And then when people come at me and they're like, what's your bottom dollar? And I'm like, make me an offer, whatever. It's just a starting point to start conversation, discuss things with them, talk them down, even if it says firm on the post. I usually put firm on my prices just to weed out the stupid people, because I don't like messaging stupid people back and forth. It weeds out the stupid people because they don't know that they can still easily haggle, especially if the price is obviously too high. Also, I know people say you should go look at the bike and cash will change people's minds and don't haggle over the phone. I think that's stupid. I'd much rather somebody haggle with me over the phone, tell me what they're willing to pay, and then I can say yes or no. If someone comes to my house and they're looking at my bike and they offer me something that's too low, well, you've wasted my time, you've wasted your time, I wish you would have told me that over the phone. But if you're like this, you need to put good pictures, and I always put tons of very good pictures, and I say, hey, if you want more pictures, I'll send you more pictures. Just some of my thoughts on the frustrations of Craigslist. I try to avoid using Craigslist. eBay's much better, except they have all those stupid fees. And I was going to trade this bike in, but dealerships were trying to shank me on the price. They were offering me like $3,000 for this thing, and they're like, well, we got to get some profit out of it. A dealer could easily get like $5,200 for this thing. One of the dealers told me, yeah, we'd like to get about $500 profit, and they offered me $3,100. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.